So if I refuse to put my partner on the deed of a place I inherited, even though we live there together. I, 29 female, have been with my partner, 32 male, for a little over 4 years. We've talked about building a life together, but we're not married and we don't have kids. Last year, my aunt passed and left me her small townhouse. It's not fancy, it's older and kind of creaky, but it's in a decent area and it's changed my life. Before that, I was renting and basically watching my savings evaporate every month. After the inheritance, I used most of my savings to fix it up. New roof patches, plumbing work, replace some unsafe outlets, boring but expensive stuff. About 7 months ago, we moved in together because his lease ended and it made sense. Plus, I genuinely wanted to live with him. We split utilities and groceries, and he pays me a set amount each month. That's less than what he paid in rent before. It's not a huge profit thing. It covers part of the property tax and repairs. I still pay the majority of the big costs because they come up and it's my name on everything. Here's the issue. Recently, he started bringing up that he feels unequal, that we both live here, but I'm the one building equity. He says he's not trying to take my aunt's gift, he just wants to feel secure, like if something happens between us, he wouldn't end up starting over with nothing. I do understand the fear, and I've tried to address it in practical ways. I've offered to write a cohabitation agreement with a lawyer, something that says he gets reimbursed if he pays into major improvements, or that I give him a certain amount of notice and some help if we'd ever split. I even suggested we open a joint savings account only for the house, where we both contribute and we both see where the money goes. He shut all of that down and said paperwork like that makes us sound like roommates and not partners. Then last week he asked me straight up when I'm putting him on the deed. I laughed because I thought it was a joke, and he got quiet and he said he was serious. He said if I really see him as my future, I should want us to own things together, and that keeping the house only in my name is me holding power. He also mentioned his mom thinks it's a red flag that I'm basically his landlord. Now I feel gross even typing that because I don't want that dynamic, but I also don't want to hand over half of an asset I inherited and paid to repair, especially when we're not married and he still has a lot of debt, student loans, and some credit cards. When I said I'm not comfortable adding him to the deed, he accused me of not trusting him and said I'm acting like he's a risk. I told him I love him, but love doesn't erase reality. He's been colder since then, and he keeps making comments like, must be nice to have a safety net. Would I be so if I stick to a no, even if it makes him feel insecure? So if I refuse to put my partner on the deed of a place I inherited, even though we live there together? I, 29 female, have been with my partner 30.
Okay, so that's a clip from Comfort Level Podcast. I'm not gonna hold you. I never really watched the full episode, but I do be watching the clips when they come across it. I feel like, well, first of all, this ain't none of my business, child, but I feel like she is treating their romantic relationship like a business relationship. And maybe she should take some time and reflect if she really do want to be with him or not. And I'm not saying she should make bad financial decisions or put herself at risk. Like, I do think those was decent options that she offered him to make him feel more invested. But say like a few months ago, I had told my business partner that I wanna be invested in the company because I was investing a lot of time and energy into it, and I wanted to feel like I had ownership in it too. And he sat me down and he said, that's all fine and dandy, but either you ready to drop this amount of cash to say that we're business partners, or I'm going to have to see a different level of commitment from you to the business. And that was real as fuck. And so maybe she feels that she is not getting equal level of commitment out of the relationship. So it's not worth investing in him in that way. She needs to go ahead and think about that if she really want to be with him or not. Because everything she said, like, we talked about building a life together, whether you have kids or if you're married or not, if y'all are building a life together, to me, then that means you should need to be ready to invest in a relationship. Either y'all that serious or you're not. But I do feel like, why do he want ownership of the house and he's not ready to get married? I think if he was ready to put a ring on her finger, 5:55 on the timer, then she would be willing to put his name on a deed. What y'all think about that? All right. I just dropped a video today. So this is Evo 2. And this video I dropped today, I did not really give an explanation as to what I'm doing or what the series is. So this is Toke Talk, but I don't even have no weed right now. But in my Eve era is a new Instagram page that I created, essentially for me to have intuitive talks and enlightening conversations and stuff like that. And so I'm starting here on YouTube, and then I'll be posting clips and stuff to the Instagram. I might go live over there sometime. I don't know fully what I'm doing with it yet, but I felt that it was time to do that. So I'm using the Modern Witch Tarot deck. Love this deck because it's so inclusive. And first things first message that we got coming out is, you are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. So I think that kind of is a continuation of what we was talking about yesterday. Oh, here we go with the sun again. Absolutely. That's confirmation. This is a continuation of what we were talking about yesterday, of you really trying to find your groove. You know what I mean? You really trying to figure out who you are as a person and how your purpose is supposed to impact others and stuff like that. So right now, what I really see for you is needing to have a change in your perspective. A lot of the time, when we're having like a tower moment or you see the tower card, it feels like everything is falling apart or whatever. One of my favorite quotes by Marilyn Monroe is, sometimes good things fall apart so that better things can come together. And that's really all a tower moment is. And when it feels like the end of the world and we're fighting against ourselves and fighting against where the universe or God is trying to take us, then that's when it's the tower moment. So what I feel that you should be doing right now is really changing your perception about how things are coming together. Instead of looking at them for falling apart, really show some gratitude for how things are coming together, okay? Over the last few days, a bunch of things happened that was kind of outside of my control. Divine intervention is what I would say. And it forced me to have to just sit down, like actually sit down in the house in a few days. I don't have no reason not to be putting effort and energy into my channel. I don't have no reason not to be connecting with the collective right now. So my business partner said that something to me today, and he was like, everything that's happening for you is for your highest good. It's in alignment with your highest good. So whether you see it good or see it bad, everything is happening the way that it's supposed to. And I was like, yeah, exactly. And then right after that, we got the world coming out or whatever. And the world is telling me that we are jumping into new cycles, okay? My collective is moving forward. We are taking all of the experiences and lessons that we learned and knowledge that we acquired about ourselves. And we're really taking all of that energy and expelling it out into the universe, literally hyper driving us into a new timeline, okay? So that energy is much appreciated. You know what I'm saying? It's a very emotional time for us, and the best advice that I can give you is to be present in how you feel. I had wrote something down the other day, and it was like talking about emotional intelligence and emotional awareness, and how you have the most power right now in the present moment, okay? And sometimes we steal our joy. I was saying that yesterday. We can sometimes steal our joy by being worried about the past or even the future. Your energy is best spent in the present moment, okay? We got the Eight of Swords coming out in reverse, and that tells me that we're coming out of this energy where we were having this real negative mindset, you know what I mean? And allowing outside energies to penetrate us, okay? We right now is in a time of heavy spiritual warfare, and so that means that we need to be having our protection up. You know, we need to be cleansing ourselves, all of that stuff like that. And this Eight of Swords in the reverse is telling me that we're coming out of this energy of fear and lack mindset, okay? We're moving into a more abundant energy and more free flowing. And I think I just want to get one more card. Oh my God. Did I say the world or did I say Wheel of Fortune? Because now we got the Wheel of Fortune coming out, okay? And in my mind's eye, Spirit is showing me the movie Pocahontas. And this is so crazy because this morning I was having a download about Disney princesses and how at different times in my life I have been many of the different Disney princesses. And sorry about that. Ran out of storage. I don't even know what was the last thing I was saying, but what I was saying was that we got the World and the Wheel of Fortune. So that's really double confirmation of us moving into new cycles, choosing a better direction, choosing a direction that's in alignment with your highest good. Letting God lead you spiritually, like literally sitting your ass down in the passenger seat. That's what we're talking about here. I feel like right now we're in a time where we are battling between being our highest vibration and our lowest vibration, and the duality of all of that. I do believe that just as much there is good, there's much evil in ourselves individually, in the world, in the universe. And there's constantly a cosmic fight for us to be on the highest wave or to give in to the lowest vibrations possible. Today, the energy is the number 2. I got the card for the Life Path 2 out. And this is definitely a continuation of yesterday's energy because we got the High Priestess. And I feel like just when we was about to start getting into it, I ran out of storage. But the video was already like 48 minutes long. So I'm going to try not to do that. Right now, it's very important that you pour into yourself. Your routine, your daily routine has to include a level of self-care. It's very important for you to be nurturing yourself, because right now you're in a process of letting a lot of things go, and a sense of that is like reparenting yourself. So you got to come in and be the parent that you never had but always needed, and be more gentle with yourself, be more nurturing, pouring into yourself, doing little things that really is gonna help raise your vibration and keep it raised. Very important right now for you to pay attention to the details of things, but also not get too focused in the details of things that you don't see the bigger picture. So once again, we just come back to balance. And you're going to be feeling real sensitive at this time. You're going to be feeling real sensitive because Spirit is asking us to be more in our peacemaker energy. And it's going to be easier for us to want to be the villain in our own story. It's going to be easier for us to want to lean into self-sabotage. So it's just very important, like, to find the energies of night and day and the duality of all that within the self, okay? On this card, the message is, you hold the key to my heart. So I feel like there's a lot of love coming towards you at this time, whether that is in a sense of form of platonic or romantic or even familiar. Allow yourself to be open to receiving the love that you have coming into here. The message says, there is a gift in feeling deeply. Maintain balance in all areas of your life. You already know the answers you seek. And for sure, yesterday, what I was saying was that everything that you need is inside of you. Some energies that you may be feeling right now, and it will behoove you to move away from them, is being combative. When people come to you to express their feelings, be open to receiving it and at least processing it. I'm not saying you have to claim it or agree to it, but I'm just saying that be open to hearing and understanding how other people feel. You might feel a little bit resentment right now as we are like going through these stages of like letting go and releasing. Sometimes there's some bitterness in our heart, some why me, for your highest good. That's why. Okay, that's why. And it feels like we're moving away from energies of codependency. Number 2 means having a balance of reciprocity, where a relationship is symbiotic. And so no relationships are not 50-50. It's about pouring more when you have more, being in the energy of receiving when you need to receive more. So less on codependency and more on co-regulation. Okay, periods. We are moving away from the need to over compromise ourselves, people pleasing aspect. Right now, you need to be more focused on pleasing yourself, and the people who align with that energy that you pour into yourself, you know what I'm saying? You won't have to beg and plead and overpour and go out of your way and, you know what I'm saying, manipulate emotionally through acts of service and stuff. You don't have to do that. And the last thing that we're moving away from is like needing external validation. Like I said, we are coming to the energy and really aligning with the truth that everything that we need is inside of us. So even knowing that I look good today, if I wake up in the morning and I feel like a little bit not cute, then I'm about to get myself cute. I'm about to make myself feel prettier. I don't care. Be the person that validates yourself. If you feeling like you're not doing enough, ask yourself, what is going to satisfy my ego right now? What is going to make me feel like I'm doing enough? And then go do that fucking thing. Like, take back your power, call back your power by intentionally every day being exactly what you need to pour into yourself. That shit. So, right now, it's very important that you don't take things personally. I think that my book recommendation for today is The 4 Agreements. Love on yourself, follow your intuition. If you don't have a good relationship with yourself or trusting yourself or being able to hear your intuition and really listen to it, you need to do some exercises, bro. You need to do some breath work. You need to do some yoga. Maybe you need to start running. But you need to build that connection up between your mind and your body where you can get that gut feeling, know what it is, and then trust yourself enough to listen to it, okay? It's very important right now that you are very aware of what your needs are, but also aware of your capacity to fulfill your needs and other people's needs, and setting boundaries accordingly. Boundaries are not for other people. Boundaries are for us so that we don't overgive, so that we don't end up feeling used, so that we don't burn ourselves out, okay? Boundaries is for ourselves. even boundaries with yourself. Like me, I have a real bad sleep schedule, and I can't really seem to get nothing done because I need to sleep during the hours where people are normally awake working. And so I have to set boundaries with myself now to go to bed earlier. So maybe that's something that you need to hear. And keep an open mind, okay? The world is changing around you, both literally in your everyday life and then physically on a world view, okay? So be open to things changing, because know that it is for your highest good. Right now, if this message is for you, you probably work from home, you're a lawyer, or you work in the legal field, you're a life coach or a spiritual coach, some type of coach, a therapist, or a holistic healer in some sense, okay? If this message is for you, you might be a life path 2, you might be a number 11, you might just be in that energy right now of needing more balance into your life, okay? And then you will know that this message is for you. That's really all that I have today for you guys. I really don't have much. I think that's really it. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out.